Most traders overcomplicate pullbacks. In reality, you only need 3 steps. Follow them and it just clicks. First of all, we need to set up everything we need for this trading strategy. And what you need here is first, you need the MACD indicator, and remember here the settings. The settings is OHLC4, 3, 10, 16, and make sure that the oscillator and the signal moving average type are set to SMA. I also have some simple style changes, but it's not that important. And also make sure that you have the volume indicator. So the volume indicator we are using, just to repeat, is the normal volume. It works very good for this strategy. And now, actually one thing I want to do to make this even more clearer is that I want to go to the settings of the MACD, and I actually for now want to uncheck the MACD line and the signal line just so this can be super clear. Okay, so now step number 1 of this trading strategy is to find a good impulsive move. If you are a very advanced trader, you won't even need indicators for this. You can just look at the price and find the best moves. But this takes a lot of practice. So in the beginning, indicators can be very helpful. And this is where the MACD 31016 comes in. So what I'm looking out for, and look closely here, I'm looking out for a momentum, a histogram here. Remember, it measures momentum, so it measures the speed and velocity of price. And to find a good impulse, a good rule of thumb is that you want the histogram to be larger compared to the previous histogram. This is a super simple rule that you can apply. So in this case, we see that the histogram is larger than the previous histogram, so that is one good sign. However, remember, we also have the volume indicator, and what we're looking out for here on the volume indicator is that we want increased volume. And in this case, you can see it's a super clear example, and I chose this example to make it super clear. You can see during the pullback here, remember what we want to see during pullbacks, we want to see low or decreasing volume. Then we saw this massive impulse here to the upside, right? And we also saw the volume spiking during the move towards the upside. So we have both of these things. We have the MACD histogram showing strong impulse, and we also confirm it with volume. So okay, good. Now we know that we have a good impulse, and this leads to step 2 of the strategy, where we look out for the pullback. And what we're looking out for here in pullbacks is basically also 2 things. So first of all, we don't really worry about the MACD in this strategy. We don't really worry about the MACD in pullbacks. But what we want to see here, and you can write this down, is that we want the candles in the pullback to be on average much smaller compared to the candles of the move up here. And we can see that the candles are indeed much smaller in the pullback. And another good sign of a sort of pullback is that the color of the candles are switching. So we have some red candles, some green candles, and so on and so on. While on the impulse moves, like for example right here, you can see we have green only candles showing strong momentum. But now then, when it comes to the volume, we want to use the volume in the pullback as well. When we see the pullback, we preferably want to see lower volume compared to the impulse move. And also another good sign is decreasing volume. So remember, we had increasing volume during the impulse, and what we want to see here during the pullback is falling volume. And you can see we indeed have falling volume right here. So we have, that is a good sign of a, healthy pullback. If you want to get even more fancy, you can also use a Fibonacci indicator. So you drag from swing high to swing low, and most of the pullbacks will actually end in this area right here. But this is actually a little bit outside the scope of this video. I don't want to overcomplicate it. But if you want to learn more, I actually do have a video. I have a full course on the MACD indicator, and I will make sure to link that video up in the video card as well as the description. But alright, so now we have identified an impulsive move and a good pullback. So now it's time to find our entry point. And when it comes to entries, we have 2 main ways to entries. The first way to entry is enter at support. The second way to entry is to enter at breakout. And let's begin here with method 1. To enter at support, we first need to establish some kind of support. So we need to wait for the pullback to start appearing. And after a while, you can see that the price seems to bounce, 1 time, 2 time right here. We also have a little touch right there. So we can draw a support line right here. I usually don't really draw support as lines. I prefer to draw them as zones, but for educational purposes here, we have a line. You can see 3 touches. And one of my favorite ways to enter, as I said earlier in the course, is when the price briefly breaks below the support and then quickly pushes above. The perfect case here would be if we saw like a hammer right here. That would be like the perfect candlestick pattern to enter. But it's very important to mention that in real markets, you know, it's very hard to find these sort of perfect bull flags where you get a perfect flag and all the patterns are lining up, you know, in a textbook example. Real markets are kind of messy. So of course we want to find the best setups, but it's not often you can find these, you know, school book examples. But in this case, this is actually good enough. You know, we break the support with this green candle, and another thing you can do is that you can wait for something called a confirmation candle. So we break the support, and then you can see that we saw you know, a strong move to the opposite side. We saw a green candle. This is a confirmation candle confirming the sort of another fancy word for this is like a little liquidity grab. But we broke support, we pushed above, and that is usually a good entry sign. So what we can do here, we can use our long position here in TradingView, and if we enter at the confirmation candle, we could enter right there. As for your stop loss level, when it comes to the case when we briefly break support and then push above, our most common place to set our stop loss is just below the low of this point. Why? Well, because if the price start to fall down here, we know that this wasn't the low of the pullback, because then the pullback continues. You know, it's still possible that that we are still in a pullback, so we might actually get another opportunity later on. So let's say that this trade failed and the price went down right here. Maybe we, you know, get a hammer pattern coming in right here, and we get a new attempt for a pullback. So maybe we actually lost some money on the first attempt, but then on the second attempt we make back, you know, our losses and make profit as well. And that is another, you know, important thing. Sometimes you need to, you know, take a loss to take a bigger win later on. But as you can see in this example, we actually this trade played out beautifully. You might wonder, where do we set our targets? Well, a very simple rule is to use a fixed risk to reward ratio. A super common one to use is a fixed risk to reward ratio of 2. But what you can also do if you are a bit fancy is that you can do something called partial profits. So if you were able to enter at the low here, many people actually take some partial profits at the high of the move. So you maybe take half of your profits there, and then you might have another target maybe at a you know, 2-to-1, where you lock in the rest of the profit. There are many methods, but if you are a beginner, I would suggest a fixed risk to reward ratio. But that was just method number 1. Our second entry model is to enter at breakout, and this was actually a wonderful breakout example. If we look right here, you can see that during the whole pullback, you know, the volume indicator was lower and lower, but then suddenly we saw a massive candle. This right here is what is called a momentum candle, and this is exactly the kind of candle we want to see in a breakout. And what we also saw is that during this candle we had a big spike in volume. This means that many buyers are participating in the breakout, or in other words, many buyers are supporting the move. So this right here was a textbook breakout. And you can also see, very importantly, we broke the highest part of the impulsive move. So we broke, I hope you can see, we broke the high right here. So after this point, we are confirming that the trend is continuing, right? Because we will be printing a higher high. But right, so now then, where do you enter? Well, the absolute most common way to enter, and what I recommend for beginners, is to enter at the candle close of the breakout. But here, and this is much more tricky, you know, where do we set our stop loss when it comes to breakouts? There are so many ways to do this, but one method is to set the stop loss below the high of the previous impulse move. And why is this a potential stop loss? Well, it's because if this breakout fails, many times the price will come down and test this previous resistance, right, as support, and then run again. And if we set the stop loss below and leave some wiggle room as well, we can actually allow for this scenario to happen and still make money. If we would have a tighter stop loss, for example, right here, we would have lost and got stopped out if the price did this, version. So as a simple rule of thumb, you can have your stop loss right there, or if we have some kind of market structure, if we have some kind of low, before the move, we can use that. But a very, very simple rule of thumb is to place your stop loss somewhere around here. And if we used a simple risk to reward ratio of 2, our trade would have looked something like this, and we would have locked in some nice profit. And now I actually want to show you something very interesting, because as you can see, we saw yet another beautiful impulsive move. We saw lots of volume coming in, and we saw, the histogram. So we had a very nice impulse, which meant that we could have traded this pullback as well, right? We could have catched, another profit. But here, and this is very important, and this is, a big learning. If we look at the next move right here, is this, a good or bad impulse move? Please answer in the comment what you think about this impulse move. Maybe pause the video and think a bit. But this is actually a much worse impulsive move. Why? Well, for multiple reasons. First of all, if you look at the MACD, you can see that we have a very high MACD here, but this impulse move only created this small MACD. So here we have the MACD going in one direction, we have the price going in the other direction, and this is actually what we call a MACD divergence, and it's an indication of a reversal to the downside. So we had a warning sign right there. We also saw that the volume here during the impulse, not really convincing. So here we had many warning flags that this was maybe not the best pullback, and as you can see, the price gapped down and we fell below the low right there. But right guys, this video was just a very short clip from our full swing trading course right here on YouTube. To watch the full course, all you need to do is to click or tap on the screen right here. I hope to see you all over there very, very soon.